Hi everyone, this is Sharon with Crafty Acres, and today I want to show you something pretty exciting for me. And I wonder if you've ever had a tomato that has ripened on the tomato plant and you think this is the most wonderful tomato I've ever had. The flavor's great, the color's great, you wish you had more plants and you only have one. Well, there is a way you can take and make more plants. And I'm going to show you that right now because I forgot to plant extra of my sun sugar, and it's one of the plants that we actually sell the most of as far as the cherry tomatoes. We sell a ton of cherry tomatoes at market, but the sun sugar is one of the favorites. And I have 4 plants right now. We normally plant out 12, and so I need to get on making some more plants. And there's a real simple way to do it. So right here, let me go ahead and get you focused onto this plant here. Hold on just a second. Okay, so right here I have one of my plants. This is the sun sugar plant, and I actually did grow it from seed this year. And I actually need to fluff it up. That's what I'm doing right now. This is what I call fluffing it up. And I'm just basically moving the plant up the cage. And it will top this cage. This is a 6-foot cage, 5-foot cage at least. And it will grow out the top because this is one of those indeciduous, or wait a minute, that's not the right word. Indeterminate tomato plants. And what that means is it just keeps growing and growing once it sets fruit, once it starts flowering and set fruit. And it does have flowers on it. This is a very healthy one at that. But how can we get the new plants? Well, let me show you. What you can do is you can, as we're going through, we can prune. We can side prune. So I don't want this one because it can cause diseases whenever a tomato plant hits the ground. And so you want to keep them up off the ground. And I can just look here. Like this is a stem that's going to be crossing over. It's kind of like on an apple tree. Whenever you have something that's going to be crossing over another branch, you kind of want to take that spot out. And so what I can do is just snap that off. Now it has some leaves, and it has a nice stem, and it has hairs on that stem, and those hairs is what you're wanting to turn into root. And let me show you. I don't know if you can see the hairs, but there's little fine hairs along there. I can just barely see it in the camera. And so what I'm going to do is I got my clippers. I'm just going to cut it at an angle. Whoa, those are not very sharp. Well, this is not a scripted show, obviously. Try it. There, further back was better. I'm just going to cut it at an angle so that it can suck up the water. And then I have a little jelly jar right here, and we'll just put it right in there. Dump out a little bit of water. Drop it in there, and in a week, this is what happens. I have one right here that I'll show you. Within 1 week, let me show you against my shirt. That's all the roots that came out of this stem in 1 week. And so what I can do is take this plant, it's not ready to put in the ground. What I'm going to do is pot it up into some soil, let it grow for about a week or so, and then we can plant it in the ground. And that'll be a nice tomato plant. And these little buds, I'm going to go ahead and take off so the energy goes into producing stronger roots. But look at those roots. Those are fabulous. I'm gonna put it back in the water until I go down and plant this. And I'm just gonna put in regular potting soil, just like I used with my seedlings this spring. And so what I'm gonna do is, so that makes 5. I think I needed a total of 7. So here's 1, 2, so I need 5 more starts. And we'll go ahead and grab a couple more off of some different plants here. Okay, now let me see if I can do this. Okay, so now this one right here is a true sucker, because here's the main stem, and it branches off, and then there's a stem coming in underneath, kind of like in the elbow or in the armpit, if you will, of the tomato plant. And so you want to, a lot of times people will say to break that sucker off, and then you can take this plant or a stem, take the leaves off, a few of them, just so you have a longer stem. It's kind of hard to do one-handed. And then I'll cut it off so it has a slant, put it in the water, and then we'll have another plant for our growing. Okay, last plant, and we'll go ahead and see if there's one that we want to use off of it. I pretty much have taken most of the suckers off, but we'll go ahead and take this one. This is a good sucker. And then again, we're just going to pop the lower leaves off so it has a little more room to grow the roots. And then we'll give it a good clip. And then pop it right in the water. All right, here's my can of all my tomatoes stems. And I'm gonna bring you up here so you can see them better. And what I'm gonna do is let them, my dad's mowing right now. But what I'm gonna do is let these hang out. I'll probably divide them up into a couple of different jars just so that they don't crowd each other. And in about a week, they should be big enough to be able to transplant into soil with some just regular potting soil. And then we'll go ahead and put them in the ground in a week or so, and then another week. It's about 2 weeks. It's about a 2-week process. That's the way I do it. It just allows them to have a little more chance, once they get roots, to be in soil and to acclimate themselves to that before you put them out into the ground outside. And so they'll have a little more attention for about another week once they develop their roots. And so this is a good way to be able to propagate to more plants if you need some more. And if you're silly like me and forget to grow more of your #1 cherry tomato. So guys, these will catch up with the bigger plants in no time. It won't take long for them to start catching up in size with these once they start to get their roots. So it'll be just fine, and we'll just show you updates as we go along with these. I'll see you next time. If you guys liked it, share it, can comment in the comment section below what your favorite tomato plant is or how you like to propagate. Thanks guys, see you next time.